Rising out of the Cuyahoga Valley is one of the oldest landscape features of the eastern United States. The 8-mile path that was used by the first people, indigenous to this region, who crossed between the Big Bend in the Cuyahoga River and the mouth of the Tuscarawas. It allowed native people to portage canoes and bundles of goods across one of America's great watershed divides. Evidence of the earliest people who traveled through what is now Akron exists only in the tools and goods they left behind. Native Americans moved through the region. The Haudenosaunee, called Iroquois by Europeans, the Lenni Lenape or Delaware, the Shawnee, the Huron, Wyandot, and Ottawa used this land bridge, connecting the waters flowing north to the Atlantic Ocean with the waters flowing south to the Gulf of Mexico. The Portage Path was also a boundary, marking the Ohio country that was open to European settlement as set in the Treaty of Fort McIntosh of 1785. Land west of the Cuyahoga, the Portage, and the Tuscarawas was reserved for native people. Akron's earliest historians marked the trail with signs and statues, but the exact portage was never memorialized until this century. The Summit County Historical Society dedicated 2 monumental sculptures marking the terminus points of the path and 50 broad blades that mark the exact trail as surveyed 200 years ago. The Indian Trail generally follows what we still call Portage Path, to the point where it drops into what is now the forested area around the Akron Zoo. It cuts across Worcester Avenue, then follows Manchester Road to the site of the future Metro Parks Confluence Metro Park. The sculptures were created by the artist Peter Jones, an Onondaga and Seneca sculptor from the Cattaraugus Reservation in New York. The statue at the foot of Merriman Road was blessed by elders from the Seneca Nation and was formally accepted by the City of Akron and Summit Metro Parks in October 2001. The sculptures are 8 feet tall and weigh over 4,000 pounds. The figure wears a breechcloth, typical of the time, and a headpiece reminiscent of the style pictured in historic Miami tribes. Peter Jones graduated from the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe in 1965. For over 30 years, he has studied ancient pottery, a lifetime commitment perpetuating the lost art of the ancient Iroquois, which had died out in the Haudenosaunee culture. His sculpture is characterized by the faces that represent the American Indian people he lives with. Sculpting distinct hands provides insight to the spirit of the people he represents. His work is in the collections of major museums, including the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. In 2016, students from the Lipman School joined with students from the Northern Cheyenne Nation in Montana to walk the Portage every year on North American First Peoples Day, the first Monday in October. The walk continues to remind the wider community that Native Americans are still here, continuing the struggle to preserve their art, their culture, and their languages in the modern world.